Speaking of weird, though, don't you have an alien story?
Dude, this one is crazy because this is one maybe people have heard of, especially if they've listened to Rogan before. But I remember hearing about this a long time ago because it's just they say it's like the most compelling UFO story, or what do they say? The most remarkable close encounter of the third kind of the 1990s. And this is just a nuts story. So it happened in Zimbabwe in a place called Ruwa, right? So it's a very rural town. And very rural town. And it was in 1994, September 16th. Days before, there were people inside this city saying that they saw lights in the sky, fireballs in the sky moving from side to side. And the news reported that there was some type of asteroid thing happening, a meteor shower or something. The next day on September 16th, there's an aerial school that's a private school, and it's mostly wealthy British families that have kids that go here. At 10 a.m., the faculty has a meeting inside. All of the adults go inside. All the kids, about 100 kids, are outside in recess. Suddenly, a lot of these kids start hearing a whistle going through the air. Kind of crazy. They're all looking around. Suddenly, they look off in the distance. Over past their property is this silver UFO with lights on it, floating, blowing a whistle. Everyone seeming to have bad feelings about it. They see it land, and there's 3 aliens in black suits, 4 feet tall, almond-shaped eyes with black eyes with white pupils. Get out. And these kids are frozen in fear. Yeah. There's one girl that says, listen, I wanted to go and protect my brother and sister, but I couldn't move. I was frozen. And these aliens got out, and one of them looked like it was walking in slow motion. One looked as if it was, every time it moved, it transported 10 feet in front of itself when it was going in directions. So it would just shift, and do all this. And all these kids are freaking out, and they're starting to get scared. And there's some kids that are screaming. These aliens don't even pay attention to them until they hear the screaming. They look over at them, and these kids get even more frozen. And then one locks eyes with several of the kids, and they say telepathically, without the alien speaking any words, moving their lips, they got these visions of them telling them a warning about the future of the world, and gave them visions of the ocean bubbling, boiling, and just, fire raining down, all these terrible things, and how there's technology that's going to be used very, very poorly, and it's going to be the downfall of humanity. And so they're just all on these, from 5 to 12-year-old kids. These kids are just watching this transpire and crying. All this stuff is really upset. And suddenly, after that, it was about 15 minutes. And it goes back up. And the kids run back to the faculty, terrified, just freaking out. And they are all saying this exact same thing. And the teachers don't know what to do, so they dismiss it, right? The kids go home. They complain to their parents. All of these kids, they come home on Monday morning. The principal has all of these letters, all of these boxes, all these phone calls, people waiting. Kids didn't want to go back to school. They were so terrified of what happened. They had every single kid that week draw what they saw. And you can find them online. There's a movie made about this because there's one guy named John Mack. He's a professor at Harvard Medical. He's a professor in psychology. He's a child psychologist. He's one of the best. He's Pulitzer Prize winner. He's awesome. He's just done a lot of child psychology, and he's literally the leader of the department at Harvard for psychology. Wow. So this guy knows his stuff. And he starts looking into this story because he heard about it, and a lot of kids are involved. So he flies out there the week after this thing happens, and he sits them down, interviews every single one. You can literally watch these videos. 1994, these kids are sitting down, and they're saying all the exact same thing with their own perspectives, with their own changes, whatever. But they all are describing this cylinder UFO with lights coming on down it in broad daylight.
Wow.
All of these kids saw it, and you could just hear the way that they're telling the story. Like this happened. They're not trying to convince you of it. Their parents didn't even believe them. There's some parents that literally just you're wrong about this. And he says, I know what I saw. And they felt it was traumatic. There was kids that were nervous, and it was really heartbreaking. Until this day, they still talk about it. They've met up 25 years later after it. And the thing is, this John Mack guy, He was a doctor. I mean, he was really well respected, but he kept going down this rabbit hole and said, this is it. This is the story. This is what we need. Like, you can't deny this. There's 100 kids, 60 kids on record explaining the exact same thing. You think they just planned this?
Yeah.
You think they just like, there's no possible
There'd been one
way.
kid that'd been like, okay, yeah, we made it up.
110%. You
Yeah.
couldn't organize that.
No.
And so it's like, we have to take this seriously. A lot of his colleagues weren't respecting the work he was doing at all. They were not about it. They didn't love what he was doing. And so he just kept diving into it. They, no joke, had the school investigate him, even when they had nothing, like no clause, whatever. It never had happened before, but they had no evidence to do this. They had no reason to do it, but yet he was under investigation. They proved that, you can look into whatever you want at the end of the day, but just don't let it affect other things. So it goes on and he keeps going deeper and deeper. He gets on to Oprah Winfrey, on Larry King. He's talking about it, pushing it like crazy. And then one night, walking around outside of London
Oh my gosh.
in the streets, he gets hit by a drunk driver
Oh,
and dies
dang.
out of nowhere. But the really, really strange thing is, on that exact same day in England where he was, 3 other men named John Mack also died
What?
Whoa.
the same day.
So there was a hit out for him.
The theory is the Men in Black, whoever
Wow.
agency, was told John Mack at the end of the day, today. 4 John Macks died in one day in England.
That's insane.
Is that not crazy?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. He wouldn't drop it. 2004 was when he was killed.
4 John Macks. John Mack?
Yes.
Dude.
That's weird.
Absolutely wild. This guy was so passionate for these kids and he was just
Yeah.
like trying to tell their truth and trying to figure out, because this, like, how you can't fake this. You have to give some validity to it. Like, there's got to be something real that happened there that day. And I don't know, man.
It makes you wonder, like, well, why would they approach kids about this stuff?
Well, yeah.
But then it's like, well, probably because
They're the future.
They're
They'll
the
make the
future. They're going to
difference.
be the ones that.
Yeah. And these people, I'm telling you, there's so much information on it and video proof of these kids just talking about it. And it's just, you could tell it was real to them.
Well, the sketchy thing is they come back. That's like a narrative that's constantly said, like frequent visits. So who knows if this was like, we're going to plant this seed in this conversation. We'll revisit you
Yeah.
all at some other point. They're going to come back to the same school,
But
where'd they go?
There's been activity ever since then. Like in that area, there's just been a ton of reports, but they all blamed it. Mass hysteria caused by the meteor shower. That was in the news. That's what it was. It's like, this was broad daylight. This thing floated in front of them. These are intelligent kids. You listen to the kids talk, they're intelligent.
Yeah.
They've all got British accents, using better vocabulary than I could ever. And they could fully articulate what they saw to a T. And it's just chilling. The photos that they drew and stuff, it's really wild.
I thought
That's
you were going to say,
insane.
and guess who one of those children were?
Donald
Elon
Trump.
Musk.
That'd be great. I think the story's still crazy, but then
Yeah.
when you get to that John Mack part,
That's weird.
I mean, the guy, apparently, the drunk driver, apparently they didn't press charges. John Mack's family didn't press charges. The guy only got 6 months of jail time.
Oh.
And it's just, to me, it's just like, that seems kind of lenient on a drunk driver
Who
killing
killed
some guy
someone.
and a family that doesn't want to press charges. I don't know.
That's so strange. That's not a coincidence.
It can't be, dude.
4 dudes, same name, same
In the
place.
same, it's not like a worldwide. It's in the same area.
That's insane.
Ninjas are butterflies.
Did I say ninja? I meant
The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful